Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Sarcastic Barman and welcome to my channel. Those Twitter fiends have been at it again, showing their lack of understanding of how a fucking globe works, basically, and how flights work once a fucking again. Can you imagine it? And we have a video from... Hang on. I've fucking done this, guy.
I don't care. Do him again. Roll the fucking intro.
Well, I've been fucking told.
International flights across the world and across the continents will eventually resume back to their full potential, but whenever they do, there will probably still be a critical missing link. Normally, there are transcontinental flights every single day that connect North America, Europe, Africa, and Australia to every other inhabited continent in the world. But there still isn't a single direct commercial flight being offered from Asia to South America.
The first thing to look at in this video is the map projection that the author is using. We all know that the Mercator projection is the incorrect projection of the continents.
Now, I don't think this is a line you really want to go down because, yes, we know our projection maps like that are wrong, hence why you can buy globes. But yours is, like, worse. I mean, seriously worse. Look at fucking Australia. Look how fucking big you think Australia is on a flat earth fucking map. Look at the distance between Australia and South America and bear that in mind for the rest of this video.
And for this presentation we're gonna use the Alexander Gleason's flat earth map created in 1892. Once you look at the flat earth map you will understand why those flight routes make no sense or cannot be explained if you look at the Mercator projection.
Except we covered greater circle routes last time, so we know you don't fucking understand them. But can I ask, why is it a flat earth projection and not just a flat earth map? Is that because it's a Gleason's projection, because it's projecting a globe onto a flat surface once again? You're not going to do well with this, really. You really aren't.
And there never has been either. Even after the COVID crisis is over, the only way from one continent to the other is through a series of convoluted connecting flights that will take you to another continent first, and likely take you over 24 hours to complete.
Well, looking at the flat earth map, you can understand why these flights from Asia, especially now repatriation flights from Asia to South America, had to go the way it went.
Now, before we let you dive into the stupidness of your flat fucking map, which is far stupider than I thought you ever actually were going to be, maybe we should look at the economic benefits or lack thereof of flying from China all the way to South America, or just Asia in general to South America. And thinking, why, how many flights would you need? And also, how popular are these flights going to be? You're going to need to get one of the longest range planes in the world, the Airbus A350, with a range of around 18,000 kilometers. Which sounds like a lot, except when you consider that Tokyo to Santiago, Chile is 17,223 kilometers. So it doesn't leave much room for error there. You're also going to want to sell that flight out going from Chile to Tokyo. You're also going to sell the return back, because you're not going to want to send it back without fucking people. And with a range of around 350 people, that's a lot of people on a every other day basis, or maybe once a week. But you want to make sure that plane's in use as much as possible, because a new A350 is going to cost you around $148 million. So you're going to want to get the money back on that. You're going to want to sell all those seats. So economically, no. But we'll let you fuck up with the map next.
As for example, these flights from Wuhan to Colombia on the globe, it's just a short straight across the Pacific with a stop in Hawaii if necessary. Instead, they came all the way from Alaska, stopping in Alaska, then Minnesota, and then Colombia. The reason they did this is because the Earth is flat and there is no other way. The layout of the continents does not favor a direct flight between these two regions.
Well, you are slightly right. China to South America are literally opposite sides of the Earth, diagonally running across. Mongolia is around where Chile is. That's a long fucking distance that I don't think you're really thinking about. But you're also about to dig a hole that's going to fuck you over big time.
Look at, for example, this flight from Rio de Janeiro to Sydney that happened in 1988 when the Brazilian soccer team, national soccer team, went to play in Sydney. This is the route that the players had to take from Rio to Los Angeles, all the way in the Northern Hemisphere, and then down to Sydney, Australia.
Well, that had some in-depth research to this section for you all. So yes, the plane flew from Rio to Los Angeles, a distance of around 10,000 kilometres, then Los Angeles to Sydney, around 12,000 kilometres. And it does seem the bit of an odd way to go. But not when you remember it was 1988 and most planes didn't have the sort of range you're going to need. So you look at, say, the A300, which was at the time 7,500 kilometres, DC-10 just under 10,000 kilometres, Boeing 747 SP 12,000 kilometres, or the 767-200ER with a humongous range of 16,000 kilometres and did hold the record for the world's longest flight at the time. So well done to that. But then you got to think, well, why didn't it just go from Sydney to Rio on a 767-200ER? Because the main airlines didn't fucking own one at the time. Your main airline that flew out of Rio at the time with international style planes was Air Argentina. And their best plane was the Boeing 747 SP with the range of 12,000 kilometres. So it's not going to do the full range to go from Sydney to Rio, is it? No. But you know the fucking awesome thing? There is a plane now that does fly from Sydney to Santiago regularly. And it's a journey of 11,000 kilometres and it's a 14-hour flight. The plane's a 7879 and it does have a range of 14,800 kilometres, so well within the range, and could probably, if it was pushed with less weight and things, do the extra 3,000 kilometres to save a stopover at Santiago and go straight to Rio. But they don't, probably because there's no economic basis to do it and no one wants to go to Rio, or people who do want to go to Rio aren't too bothered about saying, oh yes, we're going to spend thousands of pounds to go to Rio, let's have a week in LA first. Because why the fuck not if you can? If you got the time off, Jesus, yes. But remember, all this was the 1980s, so no to that.
But if you look on the flat Earth map, you can understand exactly why the stop had to be made in Los Angeles, because they are in opposite directions when you look on the flat Earth map.
Now, this is where you're going to start running into trouble. Using that flat Earth map when you know it's fucked up and very distorted, because you should know this shit, and if you don't, you're fucked in the head, dude. Now, if we look at the flight length from Sydney to Santiago and put it on a flat map, you get something like this, which sounds all like, yeah, okay, so that's around 11,000 kilometres. Roughly the same distance, I might add, that Hawaii is from Santiago. So that's a bit weird for you. Now, if we then take a circle and do this, you might notice there's a slight problem there. So I'm not sure how you want to explain that one there, Banjo, because we've got a flight that goes from Australia to Chile, but based on the distances we know, that is fine. But then that would disprove your whole point of no flights from Asia to South America because of distance, because that's a lot closer. It's almost as if you should get yourself a fucking globe. So then you can go, look, here's one flight that follows this very stupid coloured wire that I should have fucking used a different one of, goes to there. The same distance of wire then goes, oh, look at that, to about Hawaii. I wonder why. I wonder if your map's so fucked up you can't figure anything fucking out on it, because the distances are all fucked.
So, what gives? South America is home to 424 million people, or about 5% of the human species, while Asia is home to 4.56 billion people, or about 58% of the human population. China is already the largest single aviation market in the world.
Here's a simple layout of undersea cables. It's better explained on the flat Earth map, very similar to the flight routes, also better explained on the flat Earth map.
Hang on a minute. You want to try and say that this flat bloody cable bloody map is accurate, do you? I don't think it is. I think you've really started to fuck up here, because if we look at these undersea cables here that go from Sydney to New Zealand, a distance which is about 1,000 kilometres, I think it's about 1,200, something like that, so it's a reasonable distance. But then, if we look at how long that actually is, that's like from the North Pole to the border of Canada. That's a distance of over 20,000 kilometres. Do you ever think about these things? I really don't think you do. I mean, good God, man. Banjo, do yourself a favour. Buy yourself a globe. They are not expensive. At least learn something about the model you think doesn't work because you don't know it, because you've never bothered to learn anything fucking about it, and your brain can't cope with fucking three-dimensional shapes, obviously. It's absolutely depressing that an adult can get to this stage of life and be this fucking stupid. It really is. Get a globe, go and have a look. And as for you, great believer, stop sharing shit that actually disproves the shit you're trying to fucking prove. It's a fucking joke. There is no way, after sharing 2 of Banjo's videos, you are a real flat earther. You have got to be a fucking Poe on this, because he makes no points. And if you look into the points and did any research, you go, that doesn't work. So if you're not a Poe, come have a debate with me. If you are a Poe, keep posting the shit you're doing. Well, that's about all the time we've got for tonight. I hope everyone's enjoyed this little video, and I got to get my globe out again, so it's always fun. If you've got any videos you want me to look at, don't forget, leave links and comments and things down below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that lot. Big thank you to all my members, Patreons, and everyone who helps make these videos possible. If you are a member, check out, you should have some new emojis. Woo, new stuff. Yay. And for anyone who wants awesome goddamn emojis, there's a link down there. Click it. Give me money. You know you want to. Money, money, money. Money can't buy happiness, but I'm taking donations to just check. Thank you very much. Good night.